place is creepy. I don't like it in here.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Where did he go?
Wild. Put your soul into it. Wild. What's going on around you?
And I started having a lot of activity in my house as well. Feeling people standing there, pennies flying off of counters, behind chairs, footsteps, etc. And somebody one day just said to me, have you ever just sat and thought, asked me, have you ever thought of just try to see what they want? And so I did. And that's when I started getting specific messages. I literally would just close my eyes and I would see a vision of somebody I knew in some way, someone that they knew that had passed, even though I, didn't know anything about the person I was getting information for, how they passed, what their message was. And then, I would call them and then tell them what I got, and it was always correct.
And welcome everyone to Haunting Live Podcast this week. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you tuning in each and every week for our live interview with our special guest. And we do have a special guest this week, so we'll bring her on in just a moment. But first of all, thank you everybody for following us lately on our social media, on our YouTube. We noticed a lot of people subscribing lately, so thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. It does help us out each and every week. And don't forget to also like our videos as well. If you like the content that we provide here on Haunting Live, just hit that like button, and that helps us out on YouTube as well. Also, there's a bunch of new videos that we just posted on our YouTube page for you to check out. One is a in-depth interview from a UK medium that you guys want to check out. It's very interesting. Hazel Williams from the TV show Paranormal Captured. So very interesting interview with her. Well worth a check on our YouTube page. It's posted now for you guys. But today we do have a very special guest joining us from Astral Whispers. Please welcome Deena. Hi Deena, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here this week. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm always honored and flattered.
It's wonderful to have you here and talk a bit about your journey and what you do as a psychic medium. But first of all, how did you get into the field? What drew you into being a medium?
Well, I've always been a medium. Even coming into this world, I remember being, my God, I think it was like 4 years old. I had imaginary friends, pets. I would always be playing in my own little world with people in my head. So it started that young, and my gifts, they grew with me, but I shoved them away because of society, right? So then I shoved them away. And then after my father passed and I started my career, my other career, I guess I should say, I then had a knack for finding things, and I then began to hear things. So I started to study more. I began to tune in and I started to hear more. And then I found a teacher and it just exploded from there.
How was it growing up then, if you had abilities at a young age like that? Was your family acceptant of it, or were you kind of hiding it from them as well?
No, I didn't hide it. I remember, I would say, teenage years, or up until then, I guess I should say, in spirit showing me I was, up until I was about 16. I would say I'm psychic, because at that time I didn't know the difference between psychic and mediumship. And I would just say I'm psychic, and I would, call, or I would say when the phone was going to ring and who it was going to be. And I would tell my mom that, and she would tell me I'm full of it, because she's like, no, you knew they were going to call. No, I didn't know that they were going to call. I'm telling you what's going to happen. So, yeah.
Well, that's good. Then they were sort of supportive of you up until your teen years with the development of your psychic abilities then.
Somewhat, yeah. So my mom never suppressed me in anything. She would always support me. Um, did she really think that I was? No, I don't think she did. But if I wanted to do something different, or like I had tarot cards when I was young and I would play them or play with them, she would support that. So you could say that they were supportive.
That's good. It's always helpful to have family members that help you through it and along your journey, because you don't know yourself what you're going through at that age yet, really, because it's sort of still developing for you as well. So it's always helpful to have supportive family too. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Through your development, though, has there been anything, sort of what happened in the next steps then as you were developing? Did you have to learn classes on your own, or did you kind of take something to help progress it, or?
I found a mentor and I would see or meet with her. I think it was once every 2 weeks, something like that. I would meet with her, and then I've taken classes afterwards. A lot of it was, so my mentor would push me, but then also spirit would guide me too. So it was really a combination of all of it, because spirit's only going to give you the gifts that you can handle, right? So they fast tracked me. It was real quick, and they just kept giving me more, putting it on my plate, which is kind of cool. But I also think I was using all those things before. I just didn't know it.
So did you have guides then at that point? Did you know that you had spirit guides helping you along, or just your mentor in person?
Oh, I totally had spirit guides helping me along the whole way. Like, sometimes they would show themselves to me, sometimes they wouldn't. And it's all about trust. So yeah, sometimes, oh, here I am, this is who I am. But then there was other times that I would have no idea. Like they wouldn't show themselves to me, or I wouldn't know where I'm getting information. Like the guys wouldn't be present. And that was just to teach me about trusting.
Yeah, did it take a long time to build up a relationship with your guides, or you said it was fairly fast, so.
Yeah, incredibly fast. So no, it didn't take a long time for that at all. I feel like guides come in and out, so I might be in a different thought process than other people, but I feel like you have some that stay, you have some that go, and it all depends on what you need for your development and at certain points in your life. So the ones that have been there for a while, I have a great relationship. I mean, they'll get me when I need to get reeled in or whatnot. So, and if I don't listen, I'll know, you know.
So you mentioned that you see them. Do you see them physically, or do they actually appear to you somehow?
So I see in a multitude of ways my clairvoyance. So I can see them with my eyes open. I can see with my eyes shut in my third eye. And I can also see as like if I were to tell somebody to remember something that happened years ago and you can picture it in your mind, I can also see that way. So it's all three of those different things sometimes combine, or they just shoot in different ways.
Yeah, that's cool. You have different ways of being able to communicate with them as well. So do you find that helps you progress more, helps you move along your journey faster, or do they have sort of a plan in mind for you?
Say that. What was that last one again?
Do they sort of have like a plan in mind for you?
I do think they have a plan, because as soon as you say that, I hear we always have a plan. I like that they show me different ways. It makes me trust more on what I'm getting, and for me not to judge or think about too much about the information that I'm receiving. Right. So I like that I don't know which way it's going to come in. And because sometimes it might be with the clairvoyance, but then sometimes it's with the clairaudience too. So it's a combo. So I like it.
That's good. You have to like what you do and like your work that you do for people. So if you have help along the way, somebody guiding you, whether it's guides or your mentor, that's good.
Yeah. It's I don't know how you would do it without it, to be honest.
Well, some people do. Some people are just by themselves going through their journey and trying to feel their way through it and do it on their own, but other people have help too. So different ways of doing it. So that's
Absolutely.
partially what the show is about, telling people your journey, what you went through, and how you developed your abilities. So speaking of abilities, while you were on your journey and the first part of your path, did you have anything really kind of interesting happen to you that you'd like to share with us? Any kind of experiences that you went through?
So when my father passed, because I really think that was a whole moment of awakening for me, in a whole different level. Because when he passed, actually, I felt it. I remember feeling scared. I remember running into one of my bedrooms in my house, kind of hiding, and I didn't even know why. And then I checked my phone like 15 minutes later. My uncle called, and my father had a stroke, and he was in the hospital. So I felt that happen, and I'd never experienced anything like that before in my life. And then after he passed, I would say within the week that he passed, I then remember walking into my living room, and I looked up and I saw my father in the corner. He was standing in the corner, and he showed me his wings, like how, yeah, I'm going to take you back to Unsolved Mysteries, if anybody knows what that is, and how they would depict like people with like the huge wings, like the size, like from the shoulder to their feet or their head to their feet. That's what my father had. He was in this white tux with these big wings. And it looked like the day he looked when he got married to my mom. Right. So he showed me himself then, and it was so vivid. It was definitely something I will never forget, ever. So that was that was impactful for me, incredibly, So I remember that along the way, and that kind of smacked me in the face, and it was a good thing. It wasn't a bad thing.
Sort of a little major push for you to help you along. Was it, you said it felt real to you, so was it something you were seeing manifesting physically? Do you feel like you could reach out and touch him, or was it something more in your eyes mind?
No, I saw it with my eyes open. It was literally, it reminded me of a hologram, like how you would see on like Star Trek, how they would like morph them. That's how it looked. And I couldn't reach out and touch him because I was maybe 15 feet away. And because he was in the corner, there was no me even trying. So, but I was so shocked, I just stood there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You just stand there in awe, just like, is this really happening right now? Or
Yeah, because at that point, I never heard of that happening to anybody. I've heard of people coming into dreams for people. But to see it like that was it was unbelievable.
did he say anything to you or try to convey a message to you, or was it just his appearance to you?
It was just his appearance, because at that point in time, I had never seen anything like it, especially with my eyes open. It was just surreal, So he didn't say anything at all. He was quiet. He was just showing me. Now he had come to me in a dream afterwards, and he spoke there, but not like this.
That's interesting too, that he connected later on as well in a dream. Have you had a lot of connections like that, dream-wise?
Where a past one has come over from
Yeah.
the other side? Actually, no. My dad is the first one that has come over in a dream to me. And he looked like he was tapping my forehead to wake me up. And I remember seeing the bright light behind him. But I haven't had any other ancestors come through on a dream. Usually it's when I'm awake or in meditation that they'll come and they'll talk to me, but not in a dream.
Is that part of your development that you do sort of day to day? Do you meditate to try to get further communication from spirit?
Yes. Yeah. It's to help quiet the mind. I love meditating.
Yeah, it's one way that helps a lot too, I think, is meditation. So, um,
Mhm.
so let's go to the next stage here then and just go with the next question. So what do you do for your clients day to day then as a psychic medium? What type of things do your clients ask you for?
So a lot of it is mediumship readings where they want to connect with a loved one on the other who have passed to the other side, or even animals as well. So I do a lot of mediumship work. Also, a lot of people want me to tell them the future, as in what's going to happen in areas of like love, work, finances, or what's going on with their kids. Anything like that usually will come up as well.
And what sort of have you had to prepare to do that for your clients? Is that sort of what you have been working on throughout your whole life's 2 point? Is that type of work for your clients? Like, is that what you expect you will be doing? Or
You mean with the mediumship and
yeah,
telling the future?
yeah,
Well, I would say that in all honesty, I wouldn't say that I've prepared to do that. It's where spirit has guided me to go. They'll always guide you where you're supposed to be. And mediumship has always been something that just is very natural for me. So I'm an evidential medium. I'll give you evidence that it is your loved one. So it's just natural. And that's where I've been pushed towards and gone.
that's cool. So, is it just psychic and medium work, or do you do other things as well for your clients?
I do some other things. I do Reiki. I also can do past life regressions and soul retrievals as well.
That's really interesting. But do you have any stories that you like to share from any clients that you can tell us? Any interesting things that have happened during your mediumship sessions with your clients?
So one that recently has happened to me lately. Of course, I'm going to change the things that have come up and not be the exact thing, right? I had somebody who was doing a reading, and something popped up in the reading. As I'm looking at the trash can, I'm going to talk about a trash can. So a trash can popped up, and I had no idea what that reference was in regards to that. So like if I will ask throughout the reading, because I do a cold reading style in the beginning, I will ask, does this make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, then I'll check in more with spirit to see if they have more to add. So this one particular, I brought up a trash can, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Spirit wasn't giving me anything else. So later on, I got a text from this person. It was later on that night, a few hours later. And they said, you will not believe that when I came home, that the trash can was on my bed in the bedroom, and they didn't have one in their room beforehand. And they told me that their daughter brought it in for them and filled it with gifts and just had it for them. And it was something that my client's loved one on the other side had brought through. And it's just no way that would have happened.
That's really cool that you can have, I guess, gratification that actually happened then afterwards too, right? It came real for them.
It's healing.
Yeah.
It's healing for them and for me, because why would I be doing this if it wasn't to help heal others and or myself? It's not for ego. It's not why you do it.
No, definitely not. You're there to help others and to help them get through something that they're going through. But if it helps you as well, that move you along your journey too. That's good too. So
Absolutely. It's definitely healing for both parties.
So how often do you see your clients, and do you have daily clients? Do some come back to you all the time, or is it like you get new clients more than, do you get a lot of people returning to you, or how does your clients sort of flow?
So I do get a lot of repeating clients. Um, and I also do or get a lot of clients from word of mouth. So I get a good mix of repeating and new. So I would say it's about equal.
That's good too. It's validating that they come back to you, but that must mean that they enjoy your work as well. So, you're on the right path there too. So that's cool.
Yeah, I am. I'm totally grateful for sure. I am incredibly blessed with this. Incredibly.
So let's talk a little bit about past lives for a second. It's something that you also do. How did you start getting into that? Did something experience bring you into it, or did something happen that you decided to start doing that? Or
So past life regression, I got into that because of I took a class about shamanism. Now, shamanism is something that also speaks very loudly to me, something I connect with. Uh, so I took a class, and that it's just very natural for me to do. And learning through it is some of the things that have occur in our lives, maybe some of the repeating themes that we do, or I want to express it as certain ways that we might act in relationships, or because that we have had those same instances or circumstances in our past lives that we haven't gotten over or we didn't push through. So I feel like that's how we all do connect, is through our past lives as well. So it's interesting to me to see how we know, or the certain struggles that we had at certain points in our lives.
and how do you work through that though? Like, does a client come to you and ask you for that type of service, or is it something that you just offer on your for your clients, or is it somebody that has to ask for it?
Well, I will never go out and seek clients. So all these spams that are, or like people, I'm having a ton of spoof accounts being made with my picture, right? And they'll hit up my clients and say, hey, you want a reading? I will never do that, ever. So clients always come to me and book an appointment because that's what they want. I will never suggest, oh, you need this or you need that. No, you come to me and you tell me what you want, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. I've ran into that same issue as well, trying to even contact guests for the show, do my research and stuff, because I don't know who the real account is or not if I'm trying to just do it on social media. So it's kind of tricky that way too for me too, trying to find the guests that come on the show here. So I understand that for sure. And it's unfortunate that that happens online. It's not nice at all. So
No, it's sad. I do think a good way for that is, if you really want to know if it's me, or even for you, ask me to go on video. I will always go on video, but these spam people will not. And you're going to know it's not me, you know?
Yep, so true. There's different ways you can make sure it's a real person. So for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that's great. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking your time and talking to us a little bit about what you do. Do you have anything else that you would like to share with us today about maybe your services or something we haven't touched upon yet?
Sure. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, they can hit me up at astralwhispers.com. That's where you can book a reading with me, or you can send me a text. My number's on Instagram, and it's under Psychic _Medium _Deena _Janelle. Again, my info's on there, and hit me up and I'd be happy to read for you.
Wonderful, Deena. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you telling us a little bit about your journey and how you developed your abilities in mediumship and what you kind of went through and provide for your clients today. So,
Oh, thank you. Total pleasure.
yes, here as well. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Have a great one.
Yes, you too. That was Deena, Psychic Medium Deena, joining us today from Astral Whispers. And she is here telling us a little bit about what she does and how she developed as a psychic medium and some of her experiences along the way. So thank you so much to her for being here, and thank you guys for being here on Haunting Live Podcast this week. We really appreciate all the support you guys show us here at Haunting Live, and also to our guests that come on as well, for you guys to watch and us to interview each and every week with a brand new guest. If you're new here at Haunting Live, that's what we do. We have a new guest here each and every week talking about different subjects in the paranormal field. Not always a psychic medium, but we will have different guests on as well. But psychic mediumship development is our main topic here on Haunting Live Podcast. We recommend also that you go back and check out some of our older episodes. They're all available online for you to listen to on any podcast app, or check out our YouTube, and you can watch each episode on video as well to see our guests, who they are, and check us out as well. So that's every Sunday here at 4 o'clock. We provide you guys with brand new content. So thank you so much for watching. Also, don't forget to check out our website. Our official website here at Haunting Live is HauntingLivePodcast.com, where you can also find all of our episode content. You can also find YouTube videos there as well. You can also check out our merch store that we have. We have spiritual merch for sale for you guys that are interested in anything like cleansing materials or crystals for protection, stuff like that that we use in the paranormal field. That kind of stuff is available through us here at Haunting Live Podcast for you guys if you want that kind of spiritual development merch at all. So go check that out on our website. Also, just so you guys know, Chris here at Haunting Live, he does his own. He does divine oracle readings every Friday night. You can check him out under our website as well and see what he does. If you guys are interested in a free reading, just tune in to his channel on Friday nights. You can find out more information on HauntingLivePodcast.com under the podcast tab. But with that, guys, we'll cut it short this week. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. We appreciate you checking us out and giving your support to us on our social media. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, and we're on YouTube as well. Subscribe there. And if you like our content here, just hit the like button as well. That helps us out on YouTube. And if you miss our live show here every week, you can also catch the replay on our partner network, which is Rhode Island Broadcasting, and they replay our episodes every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on their network on Facebook and YouTube. So we're very happy to be with them as well. Give them a check out as well on their social media. But with that, thank you guys so much for being here this week. We appreciate it, and be back here next week for a brand new guest on Haunting Live Podcast.
The intuitive part happens when all of a sudden you realize that you're looking at pictures, right? You're looking at pictures on cardboard that somehow make so much sense to you or your sitter that you can't really explain why, right? Because it's, tarot is a strange thing to do. It's not very logical. When you start to try, to break down why it works. It's one of those things that I would say it shouldn't work, but it does.
It wasn't until after I started meditating when I was probably in my 40s or so, because I was on Wall Street. I was getting, totally stressed out. I started meditating every single day just to relax. And after about 12 months of meditation, one day I had a spiritual awakening where all of a sudden I saw 4 spirits in my mind's eye. And I had this dramatic experience, which was absolutely beautiful. And after that awakening, it was really where all of a sudden the door kind of reopened.
So this guy, I was giving him, his mother showed me what she looked like, and she was giving me evidence of her life and how she passed and all these things, and he's just acknowledging, yes, I'm not sure, whatever you're not sure of, just write down, you'll remember it later. And just before the spirit was about to be done and I was about to wrap up the reading, she gave me the finger. My face dropped, and I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, why did she do that? Because that never happened to me before. And I'm going, why did she do that? Do I tell him? Do I say this to him? And I said, I can't withhold information. So I said, listen, sir, I don't know how to tell you this. And it's a little strange because this never happened to me. I says, but your mom gave me the finger. He was laughing so hard to the point of tears.
As spirit works with us, when the student is ready, the teacher comes, and there was an elderly gentleman that came to get massage work. There was something about him that was so different. The white hair, the most crystal blue eyes I'd ever seen. So he's on the table and he's telling me he has this shoulder problem. And I said, okay, I can do blah, blah, blah. And he said to me, no, we're going to do something different today. So I placed my hand above and I felt the discrepancy where the injury was. And he said, I want you to take your hand and move this energy around. And then afterwards, I looked at him and I said, well, who are you? Where did you come from? And he just smiled at me and he goes, I'm just a traveler.